Imagine growing up 7,000 miles apart from a sibling you didn't know existed. That was the reality for sisters Andréa and Robin McBride. For most of their lives, the sisters who share the same father didn't know about the other until their father passed away. And his one message to family members? Unite my daughters. Thanks to an investigative story the family saw on Oprah and a few years of letter writing, the sisters reunited in 1999 and have been inseparable ever since. It wasn't just their fabulously curly hair that the pair had in common, but the fact that they grew up in Monterey, California and New Zealand, two of the newest and most talked about wine regions. Over the past decade, the sisters haven't just caught up on lost time, but built a business on their love of each other and their love of wine.
I'm here kicking it at B2 downtown in Washington, D.C. with the fabulous McBride Sisters, the brilliant minds behind two very special wines, one of which is just being launched this year, Truvée wine. And we're going to talk all things wine, so by the time that you finish, you'll know about everything you need to know, and we'll debunk a lot of myths. Welcome to the Quench, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Andréa and Robin.
Yes.
So excited to have you guys here. First of all, your story, amazing.
Today we feel very blessed. We have a wine brand, a wine company in New Zealand, and we're here sitting with you launching Truvée.
So now, how many African American founded wine brands, digital platforms are there?
I think.
Because I'm thinking that you may be an anomaly.
Well, there's a handful of African American vintners and winemakers. None of them are sisters that we know of.
There's that. Your sister.
And yeah, I don't know the exact number, but we're not the
But
only ones.
it's a handful.
Yeah.
It's definitely not.
It's a small number
It's not
in comparison.
Right now the norm.
Yeah, I think there's, and I don't want to get it wrong and annoy anybody.
Yeah, I know.
I think there's about 15 of us, and then in the wine industry in general, just to give you some insights, 10% are women winemakers, and then less than 1% are people of color making wine, and then women of color making wine is
So you're like
there's a couple of us, so we're definitely unique in that aspect. Yes.
That is so exciting. Okay, what is your favorite thing about wine, about making wine together?
Well, for us, we found each other, so being able to work together and our passion is most important to us. But I think our favorite thing is probably the fact that we feel like wine brings people together. It brought us together. It brings people, over celebrations, dinners, reunions, whatever it may be. So, for us, that's kind of where, our passion lies, is seeing people come together over our wine.
Beautiful. Okay, so there are a lot of myths about wine.
There is.
Right? And I need you to be our wine mythbusters.
Okay.
Because everyone should experience it. I'm sure there's a wine for everybody.
Of course.
So I need you to give us your top 5 wine myths that you're then going to bust for us.
Okay.
So number 5.
Okay, so I think number 5, and I think you would agree with this, is that the myth would be that all Chardonnay is oaky. And that is completely not true. And definitely in our case, we make a very lightly oaked Chardonnay. So in the Truvée Chardonnay, you will taste really beautiful fruit flavors, great citrus flavors, tropical fruit. And then the oak that we use adds some really nice vanilla notes and smooths out the wine.
Is it a French oak?
Yes, it is. Yes. So 20% new French oak is what we use on our Chardonnay.
And how long does your Chardonnay
6 months.
mature?
6 months. Yes.
6 months.
So it does have a very light kind of round body finish.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Yes. So that would be number 5.
Okay, number 5. Coming in at number 4 on your list of wine myths.
I think we would both agree that a big myth is that red blends are lower quality wines. So, and I think that maybe comes from some of the newer world wines that are less expensive that people see on the shelves that just say red wine or red blend or red table wine. But we talk to a lot of newer drinkers and, let them know that some of the finest wines in the world are old world, red blends.
The finest and most expensive wines in the world from Bordeaux.
Because to take a little bit of I know that your red wine blend, tell me if I'm wrong, is a mix of Grenache, Merlot, and Syrah, right? And it's a way to explore these different grapes blended together. Okay. And Bordeaux is a mix.
It is, of course it is.
Right?
Yeah, it is. You are correct.
Okay. All right. So blends are not cheap.
That's right.
Cheaply made. Okay,
that's right.
So we busted that myth. Number 3 on your list.
Number 3 would be that not all expensive wine is good wine. You can get actually very affordable wines that are delicious. And a lot of times the cost that comes with expensive wines is because they've been aged for many years.
Okay.
The type of oak that is used with these wines. When they talk about terroir, where the grapes are growing, they might be smaller areas in which the grapes cost a lot more.
And smaller batches also create a bigger price.
Absolutely.
Of course.
So I think now today, with all the technology that we have in the winery, in terms of helping control the quality, and things like sustainable farming, which we are big proponents of.
Which I'm such a fan of, because I said that if anybody should get involved in climate change conversations, it should be vintners.
Absolutely.
I think you have to care about the water and the soil and the air and all of these things. So why are they not on the forefront of talking about climate change?
A lot of us are talking about it.
There's a lot of talk.
And
there's a lot of doing.
Maybe we just don't get heard.
Yeah.
And sustainable farming adds to quality. It's what we believe as well. So you can get great wines, $12, $15, under $20, that are delicious and fantastic.
Good. Okay. So see, you don't have to break the bank in order to have a delicious sip. Coming in at number 2 on your myth-busting list about wine.
So coming at number 2, a lot of people think that sweet wine is for beginners. But actually there's some stunning dessert wines made around the world. I think, just to give you an example, some of the, not mistakes, but things that people could do better when they're pairing sweet wines is, people will have birthday cake or a wedding cake, and they'll usually toast with champagne. You want
a dry wine.
Yeah, you want to, with a dry wine, you want to try and remember that you want to pair sweet and sweet, because when you have sweet cake and dry wine, the wine's going to taste very bitter because the sugar is going to accentuate the dryness of the wine instead of complement it.
Okay.
And so sweet wines can be incredibly complex. They can be very delicious, and they aren't just for people beginning and starting on wine.
I love that. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Number one myth that needs to be busted about wine.
What is it?
The most important thing that you need to know about wine is what you like and what you don't like. You don't need to know a lot about wine to enjoy it. Life is, hopefully for everybody, it'll be nice and long, and we'll all be blessed. And so we feel like wine is a lifelong journey, and you should just go out and experiment and taste as much as you can.
I'm all for that.
Yes.
I taste as much as I can.
And you should be over 21, of course. We have to say that, and drink responsibly. But just go out and experiment. And over time, you'll figure out what you like and what you don't like, and that's the most important thing. So that would be number 1.
I love that, because I feel like a lot of people, if you're going into a restaurant, they get intimidated. They get intimidated by the list. They get intimidated to ask, to say, if you have a sommelier, can I speak to them to find out I'm having this meal? I would love to know what will complement it the best way. So I think that that's important, that you don't have to know everything.
That's right.
Yes, that's right.
And don't be afraid to ask.
Yes.
Well, I love the two of you. I am
you.
so excited that we had the opportunity to have you on the Quench to celebrate the launch of Truvée, which we're going to taste at this moment, because it's been sitting here and I've been celebrating.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. Oh my, that is delicious. All right, y'all, consider yourselves quenched. And until next time, stay thirsty, peeps. Next time on The Quench, your pocket-sized guide to pop culture, we're talking to social practice artist Sheldon Scott about how he's using art as activism.